Hello guys and welcome to another episode of Fighter Combat School. Well, today you you can relax. I'm not going to enter into very complicated stuff. I'm not going to give some really advanced boom and some tips. No. So you can lay down your notes, your notepads, and your pens, and you can relax. Now, this time I'm going to enter about more generic stuff and actually about the game as a whole and not in the gameplay part of it. I have been asked lately because, there have been some new subscribers lately, and seems that, well, a lot of them are surprised about this number up here. Those are 7,255,802 lions. And of course, they ask me if I get some kind of money or income from Gallin or something like that. No, no, it's not that at all. I don't get anything from Gallin at all. I don't get any golden eagles. I don't get any money. I don't get any planes at all. That money you see there is earned in game. Is actually earned in the game. And of course, that surprises a lot of people because they are not used to see that number up there. And of course, they are wondering how to achieve that number. Well, the real fact is that I don't play War Thunder that much, because between real life, I do things out of the computer, of course. The rendering times, the editing times, and the upload times, I don't really have that much time to play War Thunder. Maybe 1 hour, 2 hours per day. Some days more, some days less. For instance, today, the day I'm uploading this, I haven't played War Thunder at all. Still, I'm getting very nice profits. And of course, that has a lot to do with the fact that, well, I'm kind of decent at playing this game. And of course, that helps. The better you are, the higher profits you are going to get. But there's a whole different thing here, and there are a lot of ways to maximize the way you win money, and that goes through several ways. The first of all is going to the shop and purchase a premium account. That's going to increase your income by 54%, and of course that's going to help you a lot, but also that means that you are going to spend the cash. And many of you might not be interested in that. But that's the first way to do it. Go get a premium account, because that will mean higher incomes and higher XP as well, but higher incomes. But now let's center ourselves around the actual in-game gameplay and how to maximize the total you can achieve out of premium, out of everything, and out of the fact that the better you do in battle, the better. The first thing you have to understand is how levels work in War Thunder. In raw terms and in general terms, the higher the level, the higher the profit, but also the higher the risk. So, which means is that the higher level planes usually have bigger repair costs than lower level planes. So to repair a given plane, you are going to spend a lot of more money in a high level plane than in a lower one. But that's compensated by what I also told you. Lower level planes have lower incomes. So, how does this work out? It actually depends a lot. First of all, you have to understand that there are several modes in War Thunder. Maybe you right now are interested only in arcade battles, maybe you are only interested in historical battles, in for real battle, or you play several of them. But the thing is that even if you are only playing arcade battles, maybe in the future you want to move on historical battles, and you might want to know which reasons should you have to do so, other than that the gameplay is more demanding, that is a more challenging game mode, that is more rewarding from the satisfaction point of view, at least in my view. Others may disagree. But there's also that in historical battles the incomes are much higher. I have to understand one thing. When you go to battle and you queue up for an arcade battle, you are bringing a whole lineup of planes into the game. So, say that in a given game you kill 5 enemies and lose 3 of your planes. The income is not really big enough to go in a 1v1 basis. If you kill one enemy for each plane you lose, you are going to lose money. Of course, this includes that doesn't include, sorry, that you go for ground targets, that you get some other sources of income. But basically, if you are going for air combat, a 1v1 one kill death ratio is going to net you a profit, a loss in most of the tiers. At low levels, not, but over levels 7 and 8 starts to be like that. You really have to do very well in games. And if you get a very good game, let's say a 15-5 game, you still have to repair 5 planes. There are several ways around that. First of all, there's 2 boxes here. You can see one of them is automatic repair of all airplanes after the battle, and the other one is automatic purchase of ammo refills after the battle. This one I always leave checked, because it's a pain in the ass to be reloading your planes after each battle. But this one, you see, I haven't checked. This way you can select if you want to repair a plane after the battle or not. And it's very really important for historical for arcade battles, because in those you might lose your entire lineup, and that might be super expensive. And if you have lost all your planes, maybe you want to leave some of them in free repairs. Free repairs means that, well, in free repairs, this one I actually still have free repairs for the plane, sorry. You can see time to repair for free, crew included, 6 hours, 15 minutes. That means that if I enter a battle and I lose this particular plane, which is configured for historical battles, by the way, if I lose it, I'm not forced to repair it. I simply can leave it there, and in 6 hours and 15 minutes it will be repaired for free. You can toy with that, and you can, sorry, this is not the screen. You can toy with that, you can increase or decrease with that with your ground service levels. The higher the repair speed and the higher the repair rank, the better. Repair rank, well, I'm going to explain this in a further video, probably tomorrow or in 2 days, how these things work actually. But the higher these are, the faster your plane will be repaired for free. But again, we are at the same situation here. Let's check our research and look at a very early warplane. For instance, a level 2 Henkel 112B5. This one you will have repaired for free in 13 minutes, but it's a level 2. Now, if you are flying a level 13, this one needs 5 days and 7 hours to get repaired for free. Otherwise, you have to repair for your repair cost. So, my advice: leave this unchecked, and after the battle, look at your planes and look at which ones you can go without flying, change those, and those are there out of the lineup until they get repaired for free. And if you want to repair them, do it one by one. You can do the, let's say I lost these 4 fighters, okay, and I say like, okay, this one I'm not interested in repairing, so screw that, I'll change it out for whatever other I have. This one is cheap, I'm actually going to repair it. This one takes a long to repair, but I really want to fly it. It's one of the best planes I have, so I repair it. So you can pick one by one, okay, and that will mean that at the end of the day you will be saving a handful of thousands of lions, which is not a lot, but if you think that you are saving maybe 4,000 lions per day, at the end of the month that's 120,000 lions. That's a lot. So that's one way to save money in the long run. Okay, this affects less to historical battles. Why? Because in historical battles you only get 1 plane per battle. So if you go into a battle and you lose 1 plane, you are really not forced to play that game again. Plane again. You can play any other you want, but to that one. So it's not as painful to give up on that particular plane. In arcade battles, as you need a full lineup to go into arcade battles, it's more common to see people repairing all of the planes when they actually shouldn't. And there's actually no need to, and you can save a lot of money with that. The second thing that the other thing you want to understand, and also is very important, is what I started telling you: levels and repair costs. For instance, let's say the G50 Series 2, which is a level 2 Italian fighter. This one has, you can see in arcade, a reward of 30%, and the max repair cost of 310 lions. Which means is that whatever action you do in the game has a base reward, and over that base reward you get bonuses which are given by your plane. For instance, let's say that the reward for a given action is 1000 and I'm flying this plane. I will get, if I do that action, I will get 1300 lions. Okay? So I will win money based on what I do and the reward of my plane. Now, if you go higher up on the trajectory, you will see, for instance, PF109 G10, level 14, which is a very high level. You can see reward 150%. The same thing I do in a G50 and I get 1,300 lions for. If I do it in a G10, I'm going to get 2,500 lions. What's the downside here? Then the max repair cost is 6,170 lions. It's 20 times as expensive to repair as this one. So, in lower levels, it actually you get a lower income, but you risk much less. So you will have it easier to repair your planes. You will be able to refill your lineups and repair them without no trouble. But on the opposite, you will less money. The higher you go, the more money you are going to earn, but also the more money you are going to pay for your repairs. So, if you are flying arcade battles, as you go up the levels, stop losing that fixated attitude and the idea of the more kills I get, the best I'm going to do. Because if you end up in a game with a 10 kill, 0 loss, you are going to earn in total a lot more of money than if you end up with 25 kills and 5 deaths. Because those 5 deaths to repair are a lot. And those 25 kills will give you money, but it's going to be less final win than if you go 10-0. So try to change your ways and try to be a little bit more conservative. Go for the kills, alright. I mean, arcade is for that. Arcade is fast-paced. You are intended to kill a lot of enemies. But try to conserve your planes. Try to be mindful that whatever plane you're losing, you are going to pay for. So, yeah, save for that. Now, there's another dimension here, and this also I touched it before in my in my initial stages of this video. And this that different games have different rewards. You can see, for instance, that in arcade battle, BF109 F4 has a 60% reward. But if I go to historical battles, the same plane has a 200 reward. That's more than twice. Now, of course, this comes also at a price. Arcade battles, this plane costs 1,368 lions to repair. You go to historical battles, it's 5 times. No, actually, it's 4 times as expensive. So you are getting almost 4 times as much as money, but you are putting 4 times the money at risk. So it's again a higher risk-lose scenario. However, the way thing works here is that the higher up you go, the much higher rewards you get. Look at that. This is a 360% lion percentage reward. So, and also you are only putting one plane at risk. So the most you can lose in a historical battle game with this plane is going to be 5,210 lions. You will never lose any more than that, and you can perfectly lose more than that in an arcade battle, assuming all the planes you lose. So you are putting more money on front, but it's just for one plane, and you get much higher rewards. I'm not going to enter the math here because there's math underlying and it's the way it's supposed to work, because Gaijin has designed this system to work this way. The way it works is that up to level, more or less level 10, you can run arcade battles, have fun, lose a lot of planes, but as long as you are moderately successful and doing things right, you are going to earn money. But as you go higher in the levels, in arcade battles, as you go high in the levels, the less rewarding it is. Because the more expensive it is to repair, the less comparative reward you get with what you get at lower levels. In historical battles, it's totally the opposite way. From level 6, more or less upwards, um, it actually works like that. I mean, up to level 15, more or less, and there are some planes that are really expensive to repair. You can see that this is almost 20k, but depends. And I'm also going to enter that in a second. So, in historical battles, what the balance is that from level 6, 7 upwards, you are going to actually, if you do things well, of course, if you are an asset for your team, if you don't die the first guy in the map, etc., if you do things moderately well, you are going to earn a lot more of money than whatever you lose. So, in fact, there are games in historical battles when I have killed nothing and I have gotten maybe 40,000 K lions between rewards of winning the battle, maybe between criticals I got, between ground targets I killed. So the thing is, at the end of the game, I didn't do that much in raw terms of kills, but I had been an asset for my team, and I was rewarded for that. And I was rewarded very strongly for that. 40k lions is a lot for a single game. And also, had I lost my plane, I only would have had to repair that one plane, not anymore. So, the thing is that after you reach, I'm not going to say level 10, but after you reach level maybe 12, 13, in arcade battles, it's actually in your benefit that you start looking into historical battles to see if you enjoy that. Because rewards are higher there. At those levels. I mean, especially from level 10 upwards. I mean, for me, historical battles is a moneymaker mode, compared with arcade at least. I'm the same pilot, I'm the same player, and I, I am as successful in arcade battles, or was when I was flying it. I was as successful in arcade battles as I'm now in historical battles, but I was doing a lot less money in arcade battles than when I'm doing in historical battles now. So the obvious consequence is you make more money in historical battles. So you might want to check that. There's nothing wrong if you try historical battles and you don't like it. I mean, it's a different game mode, different roles apply. It's a different approach to the game. The gameplay is different. It's more slow paced, and a lot of you guys, all you want to do is to have some fun and fast paced, mindless fun. So that's okay. If you want to stay in arcade battles, stay in arcade battles. But remember, when you are making money, try to stay in the middle tiers, because the higher you go, the more money you're going to lose when you repair the planes. So if you are an arcade battle player, remember, you are not forced to always fly the highest tier you have. You can do a level 3 lineup and just go have fun at level 3, or a level 10 lineup and have fun at level 10. And you will be making money and losing less money than to repair planes that what you would have to go through at higher levels. So this in one hand. Then you have the premium aircraft. These make a lot of money. You can see that reward, it has a base reward and then a bonus reward because it's a premium plane. The different planes have different rewards. So if you are going for a premium plane, you are interested in one, to make money, check the stats of the game mode you play and look for one that suits you, that you like, and that's going to give you money. For instance, let's say I'm looking at this and I say, well, this will give me that and this kind of plane. Let's see the P47D. It actually has a higher reward and costs less money. But the LA5FN, I like it more, so I go for that. So it's a balancing act, but keep that in mind when you are purchasing premium planes. Finally, but not the least, you have to remember that each plane has different bonuses. And usually the most used planes get smaller bonus than other similar tiered, less used planes. Let's put an instance here. Let's say, for instance, level 4. Okay, the Henkel 112B0. This one has a 180% reward and a repair cost of 2. Well, this is, let's put it in arcade, it's simpler for people to see. This one has a 40% reward and a 755 lions to repair. Now we have here another level 4, and you can see this one has a 60% while this one has a 40%. It's somewhat more expensive to repair, but which of both planes do you think is going to be better to make money? This one. You are going to play exactly the same level, but you are going to play the plane that gives you the more money. For instance, good money makers are low levels of bit bombers. I'm not going to enter the reasons for that, but that's the case. You have, for instance, at level 3, you have the chance to go for an SB bomber or a P3. But if you look at the rewards, you can see that if you go for the P3, you get a higher reward. If you go for an SB, you have a lower reward. So you might want to check the plane you are using, which is the reward you're using, and if there's an alternative plane you might be using, which is going to get the job done exactly in the same way, but it's going to reward you more per each action you do in the game. And that way you will earn a lot more money. Finally, you have to understand that this is after a long time. I mean, I have been making money in short game times, actually, because as I told you, I don't play War Thunder as much as I would like. But the thing is that over time the money accumulates. So always remember to take an approach of long-term goals, because the way to earn money is with time. And it's what I told you with the repair. This option and just changing your lineup to put another plane instead of repairing the one you want to you have in your lineup might save you 3,000 lions per day. But after 10 days, that's 30,000 lions. And after 2 months, those are a lot of lions. I'm not going to make the math. I'm so lazy. The thing is, try to smoothen your approach to the game. Try to fly the planes that give you the higher rewards at the lower costs. Try to not repair as much as you would do if you weren't thinking of it. Do that, and you will find that in due time you will be making more money. And also, as I told you, remember that you are not forced to fly the latest plane you have. You can adjust for a lower level and go to have fun for lower levels. I mean, the experience you get is exactly the same. It's not as if in World of Tanks, for instance, to unlock the next tier tank, you have to play in the latest tank you have. But in this game, you aren't forced to. I mean, if I want to unlock the LA7B, I can go on and play whatever other plane I want from the Tructory. I don't have any problem with that, because any experience again will serve me to unlock the LA7B when I'm at the proper level. So yeah, that's it for most of this video, guys. Remember, it's all about enhancing your ability to save money in the long run by using the planes that offer you the highest rewards, by not repairing those planes that you don't really have to repair and you can wait for their free repairs to come into play. And just take a look at the historical battles when you are at level 10 or 12 and see if that game mode appeals to you, because much higher rewards are there. If not, it's okay. I mean, it's a different game mode, you might enjoy it or not. If not, and if you are going to stay in arcade battles, remember to stay at mid tiers. Remember that those are the tiers that really are going to save you money. Higher tiers are really, really, really expensive on the long run. So yeah, that's all for for now, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it was useful, and see you later.